This is Broadcast Obituaries, Gone Too Soon. We exhume a short-lived TV series, episode by episode, give it a proper eulogy, and answer the burning question, was it canceled too soon or not soon enough? Analysis, nostalgia, and our final verdict on TV's fallen heroes.
Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Aaron, and welcome to episode 8 of season 2, Broadcast Obituaries. Today we are wrapping up Kindred, the Embraced, and we'll be discussing the episode that never aired called Nightstalker. Was supposed to be episode 3 in the series, never showed up. So we'll talk a little bit about this episode. We'll kind of go through it pretty quick, and then we'll jump into our overall thoughts on Kindred, the Embraced, and we'll see if we loved it, hated it, if it was gone too soon. We'll talk about it. It'd be good.
Yeah, nice. Well, Aaron, the last several weeks, you have given us a movie in a minute for a full moon cinematic universe production. Yep. Do you have another for us today?
Oh, I do. Yes, sir. And this has turned in, I got to tell you, this is cascading and turning into a whole thing. So today we'll be talking about demonic toys. We talked about this. It bled into, there was a crossover with Dollman versus the Demonic Toys. Demonic Toys is still an ongoing franchise to this day. So Full Moon Productions had some movies, and then Tubi was like, hey, you're watching these? So just so you know, here's some movies from the 2020s that pick up with these characters. So somebody's got the licensing for it. Baby Oopsie Daisy has some movies. I can't remember the Jack in the Box monster. He's got a movie. And these are more modern flicks. So I think I'm just going to keep following this rabbit hole if everybody will indulge me, because I'm really interested to see what is going on. So
I was doing a little bit of a dive shortly before we got on the call here. I didn't realize this, but when you started this journey, in my mind, Dollman was kind of the center of this cinematic universe, but it is Demonic Toys.
Yeah.
Everything else is a franchise that ties into Demonic Toys, including Puppet Master, which there was Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys in 2004.
Right.
I went back and looked. I was going to see how many Puppet Master movies are there. There's like 20 Puppet Masters.
There's so many.
It's ridiculous. Like, there are so many. I could not believe it. It's nuts. This cinematic universe is probably going to rival the Marvel Cinematic Universe before long. Like, it's going to have nearly as many movies.
And sheer number and quality. For sure.
Yeah, definitely. So,
yeah, well, I'm excited. I'm really interested in it.
I'm excited. You said you're probably not going to watch all the Puppet Masters, but I'm excited to learn more about the future ones.
Yeah, I've seen all the Puppet Master movies multiple times. I don't need to go back and see them again. They're really good. Watch them. If you're looking for something fun, 90s style horror, go watch them. They're really good. They're better than Demonic Toys. I can definitely see the crossover, but they're definitely better than Demonic Toys.
Cool.
So bigger cast too. I think Courtney Cox was in the first movie.
Really?
Yeah, I think there were some stars in some of these Puppet Master movies. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, I just had a little more budget. So yeah. So you want me to do a movie in a minute for Demonic Toys?
I really do want you to do one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's not much to this one.
Okay, I got my clock, and I'm gonna count you down. All right, we're gonna do a movie in a minute here on Demonic Toys in 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right. So a cop, detective lady, played by Tracy Coggins, who was Cat Grant in Lois and Clark's Adventures of Superman. She is pregnant. Her partner dies at the very beginning of the movie. No big deal. He kind of haunts her through the rest of the show, but whatever. Not a main character there. There is a demon who's trying to be born again. This failed once, and I'm assuming the 40s. The couple that was trying to bring the demon back gave the demon dead baby to some kids for trick-or-treating, and they threw him in the ground, where he eventually got buried. And then they built a toy warehouse over him. He comes back. He possesses some toys. And all of these people show up by happenstance at this warehouse, and the pregnant lady, which is who the demon's after. He wants to make another baby so he can share her womb and be born again. It doesn't work for him. The detective lady's unborn son saves him in the form of a toy soldier.
Nice.
Yeah. I was trying to add some of the detail in that one.
Yeah, I like it. You took about 15 seconds telling us about Lois and Clark. And
I know I had trouble getting started. In my head, that happened a lot faster.
I know. Yeah.
But so I couldn't remember her name.
I watched this movie as well yesterday because I knew you were going to watch it. And when we talked about Trancers, just to do a little comparison here, this is our show. We can talk about whatever we want, right? We can
Yeah,
we can
it's our show.
go on these
We can do what we
tangents.
want.
Okay.
Yeah.
We talked about Trancers, and we said this looks really good for like a mid 1980s movie. Like they did a really nice job. It's complete garbage compared to a movie like Demonic Toys. Like they did a great job on Demonic Toys. It looks like a real movie. Whereas honestly, parts of Trancers, it looks like you're watching a home movie.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's
like
not in the grand scheme of things. It is not very high quality. Whereas Demonic Toys actually looks like a real movie.
Yeah, they did a really good job. And
some of the toy motions are a little animatronic or stop motion photography. Like you can tell that it's not real. But come on, it was 1992-ish, I think, for this movie.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they did a really, really good job, honestly.
Yeah, they did some really good things with some of the toys. Baby Oopsie Daisy really impressed me just because of the amount of facial features they got into that doll. Furrowed brow, and I don't mean just like a little bit. I mean full center of the brow coming down when it was confused.
Yeah,
and some of the facial expressions, the mouth movements, they did a really good job. That's where their money went for the toys. But Oopsie Daisy was the leader of the rest of the toys, so it makes sense they would put some money into that one.
Yeah,
but the movie did have a lot of issues though, man. I mean,
oh man,
so many like this. So long story short, the cop and her partner are doing like a weapons deal with some gangsters. Doesn't go well, so they end up locked in this room with one of the gangsters. Then this dude who delivers food shows up, and he becomes like a star because he just happened to be delivering dinner to the security guard.
Yeah.
And then out of absolutely nowhere, this random girl shows up out of the air duct in the room they're in. And it's like, okay, I don't understand this at all and why she's there. So, I mean, the story was loose and all over the place, but man, it was really entertaining. I had a lot of fun watching it. Yeah.
I was a little confused by the teddy bear, who was teddy bear sized at the beginning and by the end was the size of a full grown man, because I'm assuming it was a man in a costume. I was a little confused why he was growing like that.
I thought that was a real,
it could have been a real teddy bear. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so things like that confused me. The criminal that she was locked up in the room with was completely insane. People like that, like he was
for sure
before he got there. Like he was nuts. He went completely insane. People like that typically are not like gun runners. You got to have some smarts to be some level of criminal. Again, most criminals get caught because they're stupid. But to be able to manage getting shipments of guns, which I think the guns they were selling were pretty basic shotguns. Like what he described, I was just
they touted him as like super good forfeit type guns from like some other country. I don't know. It was ridiculous. Like none of it made sense.
Right. But the way his description, I was like, yeah, that's a rifle, like a normal single shot rifle,
like a double barrel shotgun and stuff. Like it was nothing really that impressive.
No, it was funny, but he was completely off his rocker, and it's kind of weird. Like, but I get it. They were just trying to ratchet up the stakes and all that. She's locked in a room with the crazy person.
Yeah,
it was odd. That's for sure. The decision of the two people in the 40s to hand the dead demon baby to some random trick-or-treaters and trust them to do the right thing with it.
They had this big weird narrated scene where they were like, well, what do we do with this dead demon baby now? And they're like, well, we're going to give it to these people who will help us, and they'll bury the seed so that one day it can try again. And they were just like, oh, look, some trick-or-treaters. Trick or treat, here's a dead demon baby. And they just gave it to him. Yeah. And I was like, you had this whole plan about finding people that were going to usher in the new beginning of the demon in a few years. And these kids get there and they're like, oh, let's see what this treat is. And they're like, oh, gross. And they just toss it behind them.
Yep.
Like, okay, that was your plan. So the script was
weird choice.
Super light.
Yeah.
Super light.
Yeah. But it was fun and it looked good.
Yeah. It did.
It's crazy. Good pick. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the movie in a minute.
Yeah. I'll bring you more next time. Well, we want to jump into the episode and maybe get it back in time. How do you want to do it this time? Because Nightstalker never aired, so we don't have a date to go along with it. Do you just want to jump into the back in time?
Yes. Let us go back in time.
Let's do that. Back in time. Back in time. Back in time.
What we're going to do here, because the series ended at the end of May, even though that was last week's episode. We talked about May, whatnot last week. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about June. We're just going to look and see what was happening in the world as the series ended. Where are things going? And when I say the world, I, of course, mean the top 40 music charts. That's what we're going to look at today. Yes.
Not geopolitics.
Not at all. We do not need to talk about Sarajevo. That might have been going on at that time, I think.
Maybe.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. We're not going to talk about it. We're talking about music. So we're talking about the top 40. I'll give you the top 10 once we get there. I'm going to start down at 40 and work our way up, just hitting familiar songs. I don't remember what number 40 was because I didn't write it down. Number 39 is Jewel, Who Will Save Your Soul.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that last season with Earth 2. That's when that album came out. I actually just heard the other day that album that this is off of, I forget the name of the album itself, but it is still one of the best-selling debut albums of all time.
Wow.
Yeah. So she sold a lot of copies. Probably not the best, but it's up there. We skip up to number 35, Smashing Pumpkins, 1979. Great song. A couple more. Number 33, No Doubt, Just a Girl. Also a good one. Number 30, I don't know, but you said you know his music fairly well. This is Michael Jackson. They Don't Care About Us. You know that one?
Yeah, that was a good one. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good one. Yeah. That was when, I can't remember the album now, but I feel like that album got a little more like into current events, So, but it was good. It was always good. Michael Jackson's pretty great.
Yeah. We're going to jump up to number 25. This was a really fun song by the Quad City DJs. Come On and Ride It.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Took me a minute. Had to go back to that one.
Yeah. I can't remember much of the other words of the song, but
that's all I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun. A lot of fun. 19. You've mentioned this one before. Los Del Rio with the Macarena.
Oh, yeah. I told you that dance came back a few months ago.
Yeah.
My daughter was doing, she's like, yeah, kids are doing the Macarena again. I'm like, nobody's doing the Macarena again. Just kill it now. Don't bring it back.
Don't do it. Don't do it, kid.
Yep.
We go up to 14. We have the Gin Blossoms, Till I Hear It From You.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. I just posted my concert review the other day, and we talked about it last week. And we got a comment on that last night. We don't get a lot of comments, folks. I'm just saying, we don't get a lot of comments. We do appreciate them. Someone commented, and he kind of went on a bit of a rant about how that wasn't really the Gin Blossoms. He said that these are a bunch of guys that stole the music from their best friend and then kicked him out of the band, and that the Gin Blossoms actually broke up before this album came out that all these were on. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Sure.
The lead singer was an alcoholic. Not the lead singer, but the guitarist, I believe, was a alcoholic. And he did write all of the biggest hits. If you know a Gin Blossom song,
it was him.
Doug Hopkins wrote it. The label actually kicked him out of the band before this album came out. But after he did record, I believe. I'm mixing a lot of details up. But they kicked him out of the band. They brought in someone else to do guitar. He actually died from suicide not too long after. Spiraled down with the alcoholism, and a lot of it probably, I don't know him, I don't know what he was going through, but it probably had to do with being kicked out of his own band that he founded.
Sure.
I'm sure that did not help him with his struggles. So it's a pretty sad story. But to be fair,
so
is still the Gin Blossoms. They did not break up. That is the band. We might not agree with how they got there, but it's still the guys.
Yeah. All the great music comes out of turmoil and angst and anger. It just does. And it's an outlet. So
yep. The next spot up on the chart, number 13, is La Bouche with Sweet Dreams. Not to be confused with the Eurythmics song, Sweet Dreams Are Made of These. I know. It's not that one. This is Sweet Dreams of Rhythm and Passion. It's a dance song. Like a dance
I'd have to listen to it. I don't recognize it. Doesn't ring a bell.
You would on 100% know it when you hear it.
Sure.
So I just turned it on prior to this just to double check, because I thought it was the Eurythmics song that they must be covering. It is not. It is their own song, and it's a banger. It's a banger. It's a good one. All right, we get to the top 10. I'm really dragging this out. I'm sorry. Number 10 is Metallica, Until It Sleeps. That is a very good song. Yeah, I really like that one. Number 9, we've talked about this a lot. It's Alanis Morissette with Ironic. She is still hanging around. Unironically. Yeah. Number 8, George Michael, Fast Love. I honestly did not know he was still a thing in the 90s, this late in the 90s.
He was. He had some hits, but he was still scooting in the 90s, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, good for him. Number 7, Tony Braxton, You're Making Me High / Let It Flow. I do not know this one.
I do recognize that one.
Okay.
I had friends that listened to it.
Yeah, I definitely knew some Tony Braxton back in the 90s, maybe a little bit later, but I did not know this one at all. Yep. We mentioned this before once too, the Tony Rich Project. Nobody knows. We didn't know it then. I listened to it today. I don't know it now. I'm not familiar with it. Yep. Number 5 is a group called SWV, kind of an R&B girls group. And the song is called You're the One.
They were a British girl band, weren't they? I think.
I don't know.
Okay.
Let me know.
Let me know. Yeah.
Number 4, back to one I know, Tracy Chapman, Give Me One Reason.
That's a good one.
It is. It's a very good one. I like Tracy Chapman. Number 3, talk about this a lot, Celine Dion, Because You Love Me. Sorry, Celine Dion, Because You Loved Me. There we go.
There you
Didn't
go.
Want to let you
I
down.
didn't recognize it. I didn't recognize it until you said it right. I was like, I don't know that song. Try again.
Number 2, Mariah Carey, Always Be My Baby. We've definitely talked about that one. But every time we've talked about it, it's been number 1 on our list. Today is number 2. There is a new number 1. Number 1 today is Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Crossroads.
Yep.
So I listened to that before today. I'm familiar with the song, that it is a very popular song from this era. I listened to it today. I'm pretty sure I've never heard it before in my life. So I don't know how I missed it.
That was a huge, huge song.
I know. I definitely knew people talking about it. People making, if you use the word crossroads, people would snicker and make little jokes about, Bone Thugs. You couldn't use the word crossroads, which is tough in a place like Indiana or Ohio, where you're the crossroads of America, Indiana specifically.
It's true.
But,
Yeah.
But that was number 1. That's the end of our top 40. That's the end of our Back in Time segment. So
cool.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Those are good ones.
That's the last we're going to hear from the spring, early summer of 1996 for the time being. Who knows? Maybe we'll come back to this era for another season.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yep. It'll be interesting. You want me to take us into this episode? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I want to
it.
talk about Nightstalker. I want to make fun of Nightstalker.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure we're clear here. All right.
So I'm ready.
Perfect. All right. Aaron, do you mind reading us our description for today?
Yeah, of course, Rob. All right, Nightstalker with no air date. Remember, this episode was unaired. Would have been episode 3 in the series. While Julian's interest in Caitlin intensifies, a psychotic vampire leaves a grisly trail throughout the city. Deadsy unknowingly leads Frank and Julian to a vicious showdown with a newly embraced killer named Starkweather.
Oh no, Starkweather. That's a fake name.
Were name generators around then? Do you remember using name generators on the internet?
Yeah.
And they're like, I just need and I feel like that's how they came up with Starkweather.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So this episode begins at the Haven, and we join a murder in progress. There's a woman on stage murdering the song House of the Rising Sun.
So I hadn't connected the dots. So Rob had watched this, and you made a joke to me about somebody, right? About murdering the House of the Rising Sun. And I was like, the song? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I never connected the dots until I rewatched this episode last night. And I was like, oh, that's what he's talking about. And yes, it is a massacre. It is the weirdest version of that song.
Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, like, the song, like, cuts right through Deadsy. Good old emo Deadsy. He is just like Julian walks up and he's like, do you need to sit down?
Oh, I know. And, he looks like he is going to cry.
Yeah.
And
he says he loves her. He loves her. He's never met her, but he loves her because it's the beauty behind the song. Yes, her singing is beautiful, but it's the beauty behind the words. Like she feels pain, and so does he. They're kindred spirits.
I will tell you, Rob, I'm gonna miss Deadsy the most.
Right?
I don't know how old he really is. Really old. I know that much.
Yeah.
But like vampire terms, he might just be a teenager because he was the most emo, angsty, just in his feels vampire I've ever seen in my life. And for being a Nosferatu, it just doesn't fit to me. I'm like, you guys are scary and vicious and mean and creepy. And he was just near tears like this whole episode. Just he couldn't handle himself.
So funny. So funny. I agree with you. I'm going to miss Deadsy. So we're going to stick with this storyline, Deadsy and Elaine. And just for reference, in case we forget, his name is actually Daedalus or Daedalus. We call him Deadsy because it's funny and it's a lot easier.
Yep.
But I'm going to follow his storyline until about I don't know, 3/4 of the way through the episode, and then we'll jump back to the beginning here and follow the other storyline until they catch up. So, and I'm going to go through his pretty quick because it's pretty basic, but he kind of stalks her for a while. He leaves her a sweet note in her.
He steals
dressing
hair
room,
out of her
takes
brush
hair,
probably for a hair doll.
sniffs her hair. I'm sure he made a doll out of it. Yeah. And snips it. He follows her home after that. He's standing in her apartment as she's changing. She's kind of undressing, and Deadsy's just listening to her sing, and then he slips away before she knows that he was there. But he leaves the window open, and I think she suspects that there was someone there.
Yeah.
A little while later, Julian is visiting Deadsy in his lair, and he's still talking about how he loves the woman from the club, and he's doing some kind of alchemy or something. We don't really know what he's doing at the time. And Julian's like, that's dangerous. You got to be careful.
It's dangerous stuff. Yeah. His whole thing is he tells Julian in that scene,
you want to see her, but you don't want her to see you.
I love her, but how can she love me when I look like this?
And I'll tell you, we get some payoff on this part of the story.
We sure do. We sure do. Honestly, it's one of the main reasons I'm going to miss Deadsy after this show.
Yes.
He sneaks over to her house and he leaves her a present or something, but she says, I know someone's there. I know you're there. And she tries to call the police, but he comes up behind her and he's kind of mind wipes her a little bit, tells her she's safe. She doesn't need to call the police. She forgets why she's on the phone. She hangs up and she's like, why can't I see you? I don't know why she doesn't just turn around, but if she really wants to see him.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. And then he sneaks out again. He Batmans her. She's talking to him and then boom, he's gone. He Batmans just like Batman to Gordon.
Yep.
The next time we see Deadsy, he is drinking a potion. He must have been working on his alchemy, but it's funny. He drinks his potion and then he kind of leans down and looks in the mirror and he sees himself like normal. And he's like, nah, he's all mad because he looks just like himself.
They should have had a Deadsy scream right there in the mirror, looking in the mirror.
So he goes to visit her again. This is kind of where their storyline together is about to end.
And this is the weirdest part because the alchemy's not working.
It wasn't yet, but apparently it does.
It's like puberty. When it hits, it hits, you know?
Yeah, right. So he goes to visit her. They're talking. It's dark. He's kind of standing in the curtains of the window. And she sees that he's there. The lights are all off. She walks over. She takes her nightgown off because,
you do.
Yeah, as you do for a total stranger that you've never seen who has snuck into your house. She wants him to see her. And we see his silhouette there behind the curtains, and we see a head full of hair. You can see hair. And that's when I realized his potion was just a hair growth tonic. That's what it was. It was a super fast hair growth tonic.
Maybe that's what it was. Because I assumed that the alchemy wasn't going to work. Yeah. So in my head, Deadsy just got desperate, and he's like, I'll just get a wig. And he just threw on a wig, long-haired, long black wig. I mean, just... It looks ridiculous.
It does. So he comes out. He comes out of the curtains. They stand there. She looks at him. He looks at her. They make out. She's naked. He's got a head full of hair. It's weird. The whole thing is weird. Next thing we know, it's morning, and they're laying in bed together. She's asleep. He sits up, and he kind of looks at the mirror, and he kind of does like a panicked double take. He's like... But he's bald again. His wig is gone. His hair is gone. He looks like himself. He scurries out of bed. He's trying to get dressed, and she comes up, and she's like, is that you over there?
Is that you?
She realizes he's bald. This guy is bald, and she screams.
She freaks out.
She's just screaming.
Yeah.
And he jumps out of the window and runs away. And really, I guess what this show is confirming for us is that one of the most horrific things that you can be in this world is bald. Apparently.
Yeah.
Which I say tongue in cheek. I'm literally like 2 haircuts away from being completely bald. It's so goofy the way that she is, that they're all reacting to this, the way he reacts about being bald himself. I mean, people shave their heads for that look nowadays. It's not a big deal. It's so weird.
And the only thing the hair covered was his ears. Because outside of being bald and his weird earlobes, he still looked the exact same in the wig. Like nothing else changed.
Nothing at all.
It's the best part to me of the episode is that he gets caught through this whole episode. He's Batman, this girl. He is snuck away without making a sound. She
Right.
didn't even. You don't even know he's gone. He's so good at it. He gets caught being bald, and he's like, "Screw it, I'm going through the glass." And he literally daylight just jumps through the glass, shatters the glass,
Yeah.
and just goes. And I'm just like, really, man?
Yeah.
Like that was. I'm certain that if we could talk to the producers and the people why they cut this episode, it was because of this Deadsy storyline.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was terrible. It was
100%.
so weird.
Yes.
It was so weird for him.
Yeah. And that's the bulk of their storyline. Like, there's some more tie-ins later, but I don't think they interact again with each other.
No,
those two.
he creeps on her some more, but that's about it.
He is creeping on her. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
It is crazy. So let's go back to the beginning now and catch up to that point.
Okay.
So we're back at the Haven. She is butchering House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, it's bad.
Just butchering. Yeah. This guy walks into the bar. He's a stranger. They can tell he's a Kindred.
Is his name Scott Stapp?
Scott Stapp.
Scott Stapp's in the bar.
Dude, no one outside of Indianapolis is going to get that joke.
No, but I hope somebody gets it and they listen.
Got to find that old X103 clip where they would play that.
We could find it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. That was a delight. There's a stranger in the bar. It's not Scott Stapp. This guy's hair is too short to be Scott Stapp. Although Scott Stapp is now going with a shaved head, bald.
He is.
Deadsy look, you know.
Yep.
So this guy, he's crabby. He's kind of upset. Julian sends Cash over to talk to him. Cash is like, hey, and he gives him the whole speech about being a kindred. You feel empty, you feel hungry, all this. The guy freaks out. He just starts tearing the bar apart, trash and table, ripping pieces apart. Julian, like, they know he's going to get arrested. So Julian basically tells Cash, you got to go with him. So Cash jumps over and fights with the guy, cuts his own arm to show him blood, I guess, and they both get arrested. They both end up in an asylum.
Right, which was weird. Why an asylum? Like, how do you get arrested for a bar fight and end up in a straitjacket? They're literally taking Cash out of a straitjacket.
Yes.
When we see him.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's a jump. That's a leap.
I mean, and the doctor says, someone in there, they saw you tearing your own arm open. And he shows them he doesn't have any cuts on his arms. Wouldn't they have checked that or noticed that? Wouldn't they have tried to bandage up his arms if they thought he was sliced up? Let's just put him in a straitjacket. It'll heal on its own. We'll take him out in a couple days.
Yeah, and he shows the doctor one arm, and the doctor's like, well, it could be the other arm.
Yeah.
So he has to show him the other one.
Ridiculous. So weird. But they tell him, hey, you're free to walk around the asylum all you want. You just can't leave yet.
You are free to roam the asylum.
Yep, go ahead.
Because we trust you now, sir.
Right. So he goes next door and talks to this new guy who tells him, at some point he's told him his name is Starkweather. He gets the info from this guy. This guy was turned at a previous asylum that he had been in by a kindred there, although he doesn't really understand it. He doesn't know what happened. He just knows that she tore his chest open and drank his blood. That whole good story. Right. So Cash kind of tricks an orderly in and lets Starkweather feed on the orderly and then sends the guy back out. And then he tells Starkweather, that's all you do.
This is how you survive. You drink what you need and nothing more. Do you understand?
Well, I want more.
You take what you need and nothing more. You take more and you will want more. And pretty soon humans will notice. Humans can never know we're here. It's the masquerade. Without it, they'd hunt us down until we were dead.
Well, I'll hunt them down, won't I?
Which is funny because they're also all apparently drinking all that they can all the time so they can go out in the sunlight whenever they want.
I know. None of that makes
sense. The whole
sense.
feeding mystery. It's the whole feeding mystery. We'll never get an answer
weird.
to. I know. We're going to have to play this game, Vampire the Masquerade, so we can figure out what's going on here.
How it works, some of the mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see, where do we go after that? So at some point, Julian and Archon are talking about Starkweather. Sasha comes out. This is before Sasha's been embraced. That's when this episode takes place.
Still human Sasha.
Human. She comes out, she hears them talking, and she's like, is that because of May? And like she's all she just thinks everything is all about her. And it's not.
You're leaving Cash in prison because of me, because you don't want him to love me.
Yeah. No, he's on a mission. He has nothing to do with you. Julian does decide to get him out, apparently. And Cash can hear what's going on in the next room. And basically, Starkweather is attacking a doctor over there. He gets out. They rush in. He's like, hey, we got to get in here. They run over. They open the doors. And Starkweather is gone. The doctor is dead. There's blood. Did he write Blood Brother on the wall? there. He
Something
wrote
like
on
that,
the wall.
yeah.
Yeah, he wrote something on the wall in blood. We do find out here before that the doctor's talking to him, and we find out that his dad was abusive.
Yeah.
Which plays a part here. It also makes sense that he was in an asylum before, because this guy is crazy. Like, he is not
nuts.
satisfied with just drinking enough blood to stay alive. He says, oh, if they're going to hunt me, if they find out what I am, maybe I'll just go hunt them. Like, he is crazy.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Yep. Frank and Sonny show up, of course. Sonny has his fingers all in the blood on the wall. He's like...
It's a little snack for later.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, Caitlin also shows up there. They all kind of talk a little bit. The vampires have their meeting, and they're saying, hey, we got to find Starkweather before Frank does, which is kind of a recurring theme. Frank is always trying to catch a bad vampire, and so are Julian and his people, and it's always a race to see who's going to get him first.
Yeah, and Frank always gets it handed to him when he catches up first. When will he learn?
He won't. He will not. He will not. It's going to cost him his life sooner or later, I'm sure. So, let's see. So Starkweather does go see his dad, and he asks his dad a weird question about a magic trick. You ever remember that magic trick where they put people in a trunk and then they run it through with swords? You ever wonder how that works? Well, the next time we come back to the storyline, there's a trunk, and there's a whole bunch of cops looking down into this trunk, and there's all these swords. I don't know where they came from, but there's a whole bunch of swords sticking out of this trunk.
Yeah, that part really confused me, because I was he a magician? Was his dad a magician? Where did all the swords come from in that perfect trunk that a magician would use? It all felt like this, like somebody in the writer's room was like, wouldn't this be a really cool thing to say and do? I'm like, yeah, and nobody said, but it doesn't fit. This is an abusive father who's like cleaning guns when he goes to visit him. Like, it's not going to work. Or knives or something. And it's like,
I get the impression he's ex-military, which to me does not jive with also being an ex-magician.
I know. Yeah. Super weird.
So let's see. There's a line in here. First, we find out Caitlin and Julian are talking. We find out that he's killed 7 people in a week. He's definitely a serial killer at this point. They've dubbed him the Nightstalker, the name of the episode, in the newspapers. Caitlin asks, what kind of monster is killing people and then draining their blood? Which makes a little more sense when we watch the finale that we saw last week. Because Julian says, once you told me that if draining people's blood was a monstrous thing to do. And I was always like, when did she say that?
She say that, yeah.
She said it here. Yeah. So we learned a few things in this episode that make a lot more sense.
Ties in.
Make other things in the series make sense. Yes.
Right.
Frank goes to his favorite place, the Nighthawk Diner. All of a sudden, Julian's there. They talk. They're going to do something totally unconventional that they've never done before and never will again. They're going to work together.
What?
They're working together. Yep.
I don't believe it. A human and a vampire working together.
Right. It's inconceivable.
And it's like cats and dogs getting along. It's wild.
Yeah. So at this point, this is when Deadsy bails out of the window of Elaine, his one-night stand's house, his apartment, 3rd floor.
No more stealth going through the window.
Caitlin is interviewing Elaine as they're walking out. She's like, he was hideous. He's a monster. He was definitely the Nightstalker, which he's not. Caitlin says, did he touch you? And she says, no, he just stood there and looked at me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He got to home base.
Yeah, I think she convinced herself that her mysterious man had left and that the Nightstalker was somebody new. I don't think she knew they were the same person.
That's interesting.
That's how I felt while watching that scene. That she...
Yeah, I did not pick that up, but I can definitely see that. Like, when she got up, she's like, hey, is that you? And then he turns around and looks at her. But yeah, he has no hair, so why would she assume it's the same guy? Men don't wear wigs ever.
Yeah. They never turned the lights on that evening, so she doesn't know exactly what he looks like.
Good point. Yeah, you're probably right. She's talking about this. She's claiming that was the Nightstalker. Sonny and Frank are there. So is Starkweather, the actual Nightstalker. And he is pretty offended that she is accusing someone else of being him.
He wants his credit.
Yes. Elaine decides to go somewhere. She goes outside. There's a cop that's there keeping guard or driving her. And it's Starkweather. We can see that. We know it. He must have hurt the real cop that was supposed to be there, but he drives her somewhere. Deadsy sees the whole thing. He's never seen Starkweather. He has no idea who it is, though, at this point.
Yeah. They're going to the Haven.
Yeah.
He's taking her to the Haven.
Right. She needs to pick something up from the Haven. Yeah. Julian happens to stop by the goth cave in his basement, and he has a newspaper in his hand, and Deadsy sees it. He's like, who's that? And he's like, well, that's the Nightstalker. And Deadsy's like, oh, no. That's the cop. He's got my girl. He's got my girl. He's got my baby. Julian calls Frank and tells him where Starkweather is. He's posing as a cop. Frank grabs his phosphorus gun and he takes off. He says, I'll meet you there. And they're already making plans to meet up later after the shootout. Like, they are best buds at this point. So Starkweather and Elaine, they get to the club. She tells him to relax and enjoy. He gets out a big knife, like he's getting ready to do some killing. He's going to do a little murder. Frank shows up with his gun, his big gun, and he immediately loses the gun to Starkweather when they start fighting. So that was kind of a waste. Immediately, like it's just gone. And Starkweather ends up grabbing Frank, tying him up, and he hangs him from the rafters. So Julian shows up. He's got his own big knife. And he dives, he knocks Frank down and gets under cover all in one shot before Starkweather can shoot him. It's pretty amazing. These are some fast vampires. So they talk for a second. Julian easily sneaks up behind him. And Starkweather twirls around. And Julian just lops his head off with his big old knife. Like just one clean hit, it's gone. I didn't even know. Like I referenced before, all the head lopping that was happening later on in the series. It started way back at the beginning. We just didn't get this one. Frank is shocked. He's recovering, and Julian says, "Hey, thanks, Frank." And Frank says, "Thanks, buddy." He literally calls him buddy.
But I think that's a part of his noir style. Everybody's buddy. It may not be a term of endearment. I will defend Frank on that. He's an idiot. So
that's pretty much it for the episode. They got Starkweather. Caitlin tells Julian, and he's like, "Oh, great, that's awesome." And she's like, "Well, you're lying. You already knew this." And I think this is why later she suspects him of being a vigilante that maybe killed that doctor in the hospital, or could be starting the Great Wine Wars of Manzanita.
The Great Wine Wars of Manzanita. Sounds ridiculous.
I know, but I think this is part of the reason. Like this all ties in why she suspects it. It's weird in the very next episode is the one with the hospital and the doctor. And it's like, she's like, "Did you have anything to do with this?" And we were like, why would she think that?
She? Well, this episode had some points that make
it definitely had context that we missed out later on, but I don't heard too much.
Caitlin, like they were definitely still figuring Caitlin out in this episode because she's not wearing like the pantsuit or the suit anymore.
No,
her hair's. Or yet, her hair's still a little bit. She's a little sexier through the entire episode. A little more pushy, if that makes sense.
Would you like to see our wine cellar inventory?
No, I don't need a list. What is the most expensive bottle he's got?
Bordeaux 1985 Cristal, ma'am.
That would be nice. Bring that, would you?
You're pretty generous with my money.
You're pretty generous with my time.
Right.
She's just, I'm like, she wouldn't really do that. She's not that person, is she?
No, it was kind of a weird choice, honestly. Even that.
Strange.
Even if she was pushing her limits, I see that as going a little far for her,
her
character. Yeah, it just didn't seem to fit. Yeah, like she's not into Julian yet. They're not together. He's still pining for her, and he's still trying to make this push here to make it happen. So, I don't know. Right. That's it. It's not a great episode. What do you think of this one?
I'm glad they cut it. Even for an early episode. Okay. We talked about this a little bit. I don't think we're recording yet. The Zane episode was bad. That was probably both of our least favorites so far. Had Nightstalker aired, it would have been a tight competition with the Zane episode. So it was bad. The Deadsy storyline was just so weird.
Ridiculous.
It just didn't fit anything.
Yeah.
And the rest of it was fine. It was another Freak of the Week type thing, right? So I'm glad they cut it and they got to stick with that initial Eddie Fiore line, right? This would have just been a weird hiccup. And Eddie Fiore is not even in this episode. It doesn't even come up at all. So I don't know. For me, if Caskets, like 1 out of 5, it was pretty bad. Like there's a reason they cut it. We don't know why, but you can watch it and tell they left this one out for a reason.
Definitely. Yeah. I had almost all the exact same things in my notes. It definitely feels weird watching it so out of place. And it's hard for me to watch it and not think about all the other things that we know, or like all the points where it ties in later. I'm like, oh, because of this, that's why they said that. It's hard for me to like even focus on it. It's definitely a Monster of the Week type of story. And I had down, there's no Eddie Fiore. And I think it probably did strengthen the show to not skip the Eddie Fiore story so close to the beginning. Like just make that one arc right there at the beginning.
Yeah.
And, just take care of, like, keep it all together. Honestly, I think the Zane one did interrupt the arc later as well. And I don't know if that's part of the reason why we dislike it so much. I don't think it is. It's just not a good episode.
It was a bad episode, but it could have been part of it is it didn't fit. Yeah. It didn't fit anything that was going on in the show so far. Yeah. So,
Agreed. So, I don't think I disliked it nearly as much as you did. Well, pretty close. I would go 1.5-ish to 2 caskets.
Oh, okay. Okay.
At two at the very most. The Deadsy storyline was just ridiculous. But also, I really like Deadsy, so I kind of liked it
too.
for its ridiculousness.
Don't get me wrong. Deadsy's probably one of my favorite characters
By far.
through the whole show.
Yeah.
This episode didn't do him any favors, though.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
But I can look past it, because that's not the Deadsy we actually watched through this series. It's close, just a little too angsty.
So, you brought it up, the series as a whole. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Going into it, just reading about the show, I was expecting garbage. Just terrible, terrible show. Cheap horror. Like, I was thinking typical vampires, so I was expecting some really bad horror scenes for evening, TV. I think I was actually surprised by the show overall. I think watching Nightstalker helped me appreciate what we got in the 7 episodes that we got. So the writing was not real strong through the whole show, but they were writing for a soap opera. So it didn't have to be strong. That's not what really sells. The writing got the job done for me. I think the editing really did nag me. I understand what they were going for, but just these random cuts in every episode to scenes where it was just somebody looking in a mirror or saying one comment and then cutting back, and then you cut back to a completely different time of day, and you can't tell where anything's lining up. I think that really bothered me. Honestly, man, I think I really liked it. And I wish there was more. I would have kept watching it because this show got so good just in those 7 episodes. Like, the storyline was good. And it's, they're kind of mobsters. It's corporate CEOs, nightclub owners, motorcycle gang guys, but they bring them together in a way that they're not really even running humans. It's their own little culture, their own little slice of the city that they're really just ingrained in. And that is just really cool. It's just a really fun idea. Honestly, I really liked it. I want more. I'm sad that it didn't keep going. I know, and I didn't expect myself. I didn't expect myself to say any of that.
I didn't expect you to either. I'm a little shocked. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was entertained.
Your team gone too soon then?
I'm gone too soon. 100%. 5 out of 5 caskets overall.
Wow.
It was really good. It's just entertaining.
Yeah.
I get why people watch soap opera. I wouldn't watch a regular soap opera, but I'll watch this one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So how about you? Where are you at?
So I alluded to this kind of a few weeks ago at some point, but I think, to expound on it a little more, at this point in the 90s, marketing a vampire show to the soap opera crowd, even the nighttime soap opera crowd, and vice versa, marketing a soap opera show to the vampire speculative fiction type of crowd, and putting this on network TV is what did them in. Like, they could not succeed, I don't think, with that formula.
Sure. They had to play it too safe, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Basically,
they couldn't
please everybody.
Stretch the boundaries. Yeah,
and with the budget that you have on network TV and also the restrictions, they couldn't really go for it. I think if they really had waited a few more years, had a real budget, it's where they could do some decent special effects, and they were on a premium channel where they could do all the stuff that the vampires are known for: blood, sex, gore, all that.
Sure,
they could have really, really succeeded. And in fact, we did get that show almost to a T. It was True Blood. Literally, this is a precursor to True Blood. There's definitely differences in the show. True Blood, they're not gangsters, and there's no mafia there. It's a totally, the whole southern side of it, definitely some criminals, but not like the mafia, not the well-dressed San Franciscoans. Right. But it's True Blood is kind of a soap opera, and it's vampires, and there are definitely some similarities, and I really think Kindred could have been, it could have done just as well as True Blood did if they had just waited a few more years and had that scenario. I think it could have been done. I agree with you. I really enjoyed this show, and I am also team Gone Too Soon. I really liked it. Even with the pilot, I had a feeling that I was going to like this show. I didn't realize I was going to like it as much as I ended up liking it. And not to say this show does not have problems. We definitely highlighted.
Oh, it's got a ton of problems.
Couple one casket episodes, those were terrible. Right. Even the good episodes have a lot of problems. But who cares? Overall, you like it, and you know that's what you're there for,
Yeah.
is an enjoyable experience. And this was a cool and fun, enjoyable experience with a couple exceptions / episodes.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. They would have worked through those pain points. Every first season of a show is rough, right? And
Yeah,
they could have worked
definitely.
through those. Could they have kept going? They would have got through it. And it, the Vampire Diaries on CW, I didn't watch a lot of it, but it was pretty successful. And that's kind of what Kindred was. It was a network vampire show, and they just left out the gratuity,
Yeah.
and they made it work. And I think Kindred could have done it first had they kept going. It would have been the one, that everything gets compared to. So
Yeah, it's sad. It's unfortunate that it faded so quickly. And even if it hadn't been canceled, of course, we know that the Julian Luna actor died that fall.
Yeah.
I feel like that had to have played into
everything-
it somehow.
Everything I read has said that the producers, they were excited about a season 2. They had plans, and after Frank Markle passed, they said we can't continue this without the prince. I get it, right? Also, you could have just recasted him and moved on. So that also tells me there might have been some problems, and that was a good scapegoat. So I don't know. We'll never know what happened, really.
He was a very, he was by far the main character on this show. Like,
yeah, and the best character on the show.
Yeah, well, Deadsy.
Okay,
don't forget Deadsy. But he was probably the strongest character. Like, he was
right.
A very strong presence on this show. Like, he kind of carried it. And
he did.
Maybe they just thought there's no way we can recast this guy and move forward. Personally, I think who knows? Again, like you said, there must have been other issues as well.
There's got to be stuff going on.
You could always just kill him off screen and have a new prince come into town, the new Ventru Primogen, who comes in and takes over, and could also be, you build a new character. It doesn't have to be the same guy. You can build a new character who is also a strong character and whatnot. Try to build the show around them, or build it around one of the existing characters. There were options, but ultimately it's gone, and gone too soon.
It's a real shame.
Gone too soon. I know.
Yeah.
So this was a fun season. I really like this show.
Right. Yeah, I did too. I really enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun. I remember when you introduced this the first time, you're like, hey, have you ever heard of this show? And I looked it up and I was like, oh, he's going to ask if we should watch it. Just like, I don't know. I was like, if anything, it'll be a good laugh. And it was, but it was also a really good show.
Both.
Also, hands down, one of my favorite scenes, the Deadsy scream. I have not laughed so hard at a TV drama in my life. It was so out of place. Deadsy, you'll be missed. We miss you.
Yep.
Just sad.
Yep. Amazing. So, all right. Well, hey, that's almost it for season 2. Fun season. Let us know if you enjoyed this show, if you're a fan of it and are familiar with it.
If you watched it, talk
if
to us
you watched
about
it. Yeah, let us know if you. I don't know anyone who knows this show. I've definitely talked to some people who knew Earth 2. But I do not know anyone personally that was even aware of this show.
Same. Yeah. Nobody
Sad.
I knew.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you know, let us, reach out, tell us. We did get a comment on a video. I think you responded to it. Someone said that Kindred was far ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I have to agree. That's kind of what my write up there was pointing to, was that it, like, a few years later, it would have fit right in. But
yeah,
they did
it's
too far ahead of its time.
Yeah, they broke the wall for people, or the glass ceiling. Is that what they did?
Yeah.
The glass ceiling for other
They
vampire
broke
shows?
something.
I don't know.
Broke their foot. I don't know.
Something.
Yeah. So it was a good one. So we appreciate you all being here with us for season 2. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we have. Aaron, what are we doing for season 3? Any ideas?
Oh, do we have a treat?
Should we draw some straws right now and see what we're gonna do? Nah, just
We
kidding.
can-
Go with what we already planned.
I was like, well, I mean, we can, but I thought we had a plan.
We have a
So,
plan. Go with the plan.
Yeah, we are going to go down the time cop path. So is what you'll get from us going into season 3 is our first episode will be a review of the 1994 Time Cop movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as a time enforcement commission officer. Really cool movie. If you've never seen it, go watch it. It's really good. It's one of my favorite Van Damme movies. I might be the only one in that bucket, but I have fond memories of it. Rob's looking at me like I'm an idiot, but
No.
he liked it too. I know he did.
On some levels, yes.
Yep. But then we're going to jump from the movie into the short-lived TV series Time Cop, which aired 1997 1998
I think so.
on ABC. So we're going to jump in and we'll do that.
9 episodes.
9 episodes. Yeah, I forgot how many episodes. So should be really entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the cover art right now. If I don't know if that's the villain or the star. It looks like it's the villain to me, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm really interested. I didn't even know this was a TV show, Rob, until you said something. You're like, did you ever see the Time Cop show?
I don't know how I stumbled across it, but
yeah,
I did somewhere. I hope you all come back for season 3 with us. And it's too early to tell if we're going to take any time off or do a special episode in between. We got some other things cooking that we're thinking about here. So we'll see you when we see you. It won't be long. We know that much.
No, we'll keep cooking.
Yeah, we're going to
if you want to see, if you want to do another bonus episode, Trainsters 2, let us know. I'm into it. I want to do it, but I don't know if I could sell Rob on it. So
let me tell you, I'm a completionist, and I've watched 2 entries in this movie series now, and the second one was not very good. I'm going to just be honest.
1.5.
The second entry, it was 1.5. Yes.
Yeah.
The short, it was not very good.
It was pretty bad.
But I still believe that there might be some good stuff left in the rest of the series, just based on how much you enjoy it. So
there is.
I'm game.
My taste in movies are questionable, Rob. So
man, I wasn't gonna say it, but I was definitely thinking it. I'm just kidding.
That's fair.
No, you've made lots of great recommendations of late.
Good.
Yeah. So all right. Well, hey. Appreciate y'all being here. This has been a great season 2 of Broadcast Obituaries.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah. I've been one host, Rob.
And I've been the other host, Aaron. And we'll catch you in season 3.
Bye.
Bye.
Yep. Honestly, I'm with you. Yep.
Honestly, yep.
All right. Hi. Sorry, you were sniffling. I'm gonna do that take again.
I know. Well, you sounded like a teenage girl.
Hi. Hey. Sorry, my voice cracks every once in a while.
That was great. Don't need the calculator. I need a clock with a timer.
I get those confused all the time.
I know. I put them in the same spot on my phone, and I probably should just move them because they're not.
Right.
It's like they don't make. I don't know. I'm an idiot.
Mine are just naturally right next to each other on my phone. The waitress says something interesting here. I don't know if you ever knew this. She said that coffee makes you more tense. It doesn't relax you. Did you know that? That's funny.
Was she? I think she was trying to hit on Frank.
Yeah, unsuccessfully. He's still. This is episode 3. He's thinking about Alexandra and Lily. Like that's all that's on his mind at this point.
Yeah. One of the actors looked like the guy that played Jack Death's boss, but they're different guys. They just look similar to me. So cut all that out, Rob.
I will.
Cut it.
Consider it cut. Consider it cut.
Yep.
Cut it out.